Hello, and welcome back to episode 3 of Making Something Mediocre, where I redo a contraption because I completely failed the first time, and I will not allow that to happen again. As proof of this, please see the chest that I have laid before me. This is the proof that I've actually researched and prepared for this episode, and if this goes wrong, that does unfortunately prove that I am what I would call a significant moron. Also, it must be noted that in the background, we do indeed have the failed contraption because we must always remember episode 1.5 walked, so episode 3 could run. So, as expected, we do start very similarly to the first time where we place down just a line of mud. Except we don't start similarly to last time because instead, we do this. For reference, this is meant to be this is the back of the contraption, okay? Okay. Now, unfortunately, I know I made fun of people who put the the water behind the contraption and made it so you couldn't see the water. However, I did figure out that unfortunately my fix does not work unless I lay down my pride and admit it is more efficient, unfortunately, if I put the water behind there. Then just build up here like so and cover the water because it reminds me of my failure as both a human being and a tutorial maker. Of course, do the basics, place your pistons here like so. See, I'm even adapting the language of a tutorial maker like so. How professional does that sound? Anyway, then proceed to place the observers this way around, so then, guess what? They will observe the sugarcane growing. Wow! Who could have guessed that is exactly what an observer does? I need to stop turning my head, because I'm sure the audio suffered greatly because I turned away from the microphone there. Rookie mistake, how dare I be too expressive. Place blocks here just behind the piston, and please ensure you have all of your materials ready, unlike me. And how will you have all these materials ready? Because I've not told you. Well, please go into the description because that's how cool I am. I don't tell you what the materials are. I write them in a letter dedicated only to you, Stephen. So anybody who's not called Stephen unfortunately can't look at the description, sorry. See, now, what will happen because the observers will observe the sugarcane, and then this will power the redstone, which powers this, which then powers this, is this. By the way, if I had a pound for every time I just said the word this, I would be a millionaire. So, please give me a pound every time I say the word this. Place your sugarcane here, or else this whole contraption will be completely useless because you're not actually growing anything. Build up behind here like so if you want to. This isn't necessary. I just like being able to fly my contraptions and go, look, I have conquered the world of sugarcane. Looks a bit like a sandwich, doesn't it? Like a weirdly horizontal sandwich. Place your glass like this, in basically just in this formation, that tall, because it encases the sugarcane. Please remember that dealing with sugarcane is a very dangerous business. It escapes a lot. It's brutal. There are a lot of reasons sugarcane is confined, and not all of them are PG. So, unfortunately, I can't tell you, but just be careful when handling sugarcane, okay? Especially you, Stephen. Please stay safe. Now, I know that this beautiful, beautiful thing looks a little different from Mr. I Don't Work over there, but trust me when I say that this is possibly the most beautiful, efficient, but inefficient, mediocre design I think I could have come across. and not just come across, but made. We do, however, get to the bit now where Mr. I don't worky over here stopped working, so wish me luck. What we do first is we break these blocks here. How far does this go? Well, that's rather far. That is rather far. I must say I'm rather impressed. Wow. For the sake of convenience or just aesthetics, please just replace these with our very expensive wooden planks. Don't break that one. That was meant to be safe from my glass genocide, but apparently it's not. There we go. She looks a little rough, I won't lie. We could... maybe it was a sign. Maybe it was a sign that I broke that glass. Okay, she looks a bit better. There we go. Yeah, she looks nicer. Anyway, yes, back to the actual stuff we were doing. Place a... You know what? I'm gonna do this. Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. And this is why you never put water in efficient spaces. Now, under the walls, I just expertly told you to place some redstone torches, like so. Hopefully this works. That's the wrong rail. That does work. Where, hey, I know how to redstone. Kind of. Grass block. Mud. Grass block. Very, very important. Almost have rails. Redstone. Mud block. Grass block. Mud block. You cannot change those patterns. This is the entire reason episode 1.5 did not work. I've tested all possible combinations that are possible to test in the known universe, and this seems to be the key to unlocking all the redstone potential there is in the world. So if you dare break this sequence, I won't be mad. I'll just be disappointed. And so will you when your contraption doesn't work. Powered rail. Rail, rail, rail. No powered rail. We're going to have now a chest here, hopper here, powered rail here. That powers it. Crazy. Gonna break some blocks like this. And then put a... Well, you know what? We'll be fancy today. We'll be fancy. We're going to put a red stained glass here. Now let me double check that works, because glass is a bit of a weird one in relation to redstone. So actually, let me double check that works. No, it doesn't. Oh, not allowed to be fancy. Sorry, you're gonna have to have a warped staircase instead. Okay, you're not even allowed to have a warped staircase. Instead, you're gonna have to have a stripped cherry wood. That's what you need, yes. See, now that works, and you can tell it works by the crazily annoying sound. Now you can ask me, Amber, you can turn that sound off. And what I will say to you in response is, you may be able to turn the sound off, but you will never be able to turn off the sound of your screams, knowing that the minecart is still making this grating noise. Just the knowledge of the concept of this noise existing will drive you mad. And that is the perfect people repellent. Yes, I know, the last one was superior in that regard, as it did have 2 rails going at once, and this one only has 1. So what I will do, as a little treat to you all, is I'm gonna make an extra one right here for no apparent reason whatsoever. We're just gonna have an extra rail. Please consider that this is essential to the design. If you do not use this extra rail, then you are simply wrong. And you don't want to be wrong. So, get more resources, I guess? Because you're going to need a second rail, buddy. Break the blocks here like you did last time. Ooh, I can see it. Oh, wow. How beautiful. Block of redstone here. I nearly forgot the torch. There it is. There it is. Dirt, dirt, dirt. Now the reason I'm not doing the grass block, mud block pattern is the second rail actually works with a different set of laws regarding physics. So this is acceptable for the second rail, whereas it's not acceptable for the first one. Powered rail, 3 rails, block of redstone, powered rail, 3 rails, and since this does nothing of value whatsoever, you can just set that minecart going, break it because it's not moving, break more blocks so you have room to move, place things there, powered rail here, minecart going. You can use just a normal minecart here instead of a minecart hopper, but it just makes you look a bit poor. So for the sake of your own status, I would recommend using a minecart hopper. Cover all this up, and there you have it. A fully functional sugarcane farm and people repellent. Oh yes, you may want to make a little staircase here, just so you can, access your sugarcane. However, if I may interject, this contraption doubles as a staircase, and not only an efficient staircase, but also a staircase which will scare anybody going over it, because they will see these observers and they'll go, "Oh, that's a trap! Oh, I can't go up these stairs." So not only do we have a sugarcane farm, a people repellent, but we also have a staircase and a thief repellent. There we go, guys. Episode 1.5 walked, so episode 3 could run, and run it did. I am absolutely signing the date of this one. I'm so proud of it. This may well be the last contraption of the year. And what a mightily beautiful one it is. I suppose the last thing we have to do is test that it actually works. Alright. Goes down, goes through. Oh. Wow, it actually worked. Wow, I was expecting to have to name this episode 2.5 and have this be a running gag, but it actually worked this time round. Oh, lovely. I don't have to revisit this ever again. What a lovely treat. I can leave this behind in 2025. I must say, the world is starting to get very crowded, that there's almost no space to build anything. I may need to make a new world soon. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next episode of Making Something Mediocre. Bye-bye. Today's special thank you goes to TK for creating a growth plan for me, which will end with me buying the world. So thank you very much. I'm sure I'm following your plan 100%. See you in the next video.